Hi, it's Unico Typical Podcast. If you want to see more episodes of Unico Typical, just subscribe to this channel. And if you want to be next guest of one upcoming episode, just go on unicotypical.com and fill out form. May you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Gonzalo. I'm from Mexico, from the city of Puebla. And well, I am a person who likes to travel and enjoy the world and different mentalities and self-expression of different people.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So thinking about Mexico, for me, it's a tropical nature. It's a beautiful beaches, sombrella, tacos, and tequila. So this is why I want to ask you, can you reveal most common stereotypes about Mexico and Mexican people?
Yes, well, we have this stereotype from outside view. Like a lot of people like to perceive from the movies, like everything is desert with cactus, big sombreros, and playing guitar, mariachis, tacos as well. I think this is very common because of the movies from the US. But inside of Mexico, we have our own stereotypes. What I'm describing, it's not like something in a bad demeanor or something. It's something that is reality. And we as Mexicans, we make fun of different things. So yes, for the people from Mexico, we have different stereotypes. We have something that we call like whitexicans. Whitexicans is like white Mexicans. These are Mexicans that are like they're like mix of cultures. So whitexicans are people from Mexico who normally are described as white skin color people, and they live in Mexico. As well, it's very famous in memes. This is like kind of like anthropology of Mexican society inside of memes culture. We have also what it's Shrexicans. It's like
Mexican?
hilarious. Yes. Do you know the movie Shrek?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there are some memes about people that are wearing like big stereotypes of brands, maybe Gucci or Prada or Lamborghini costumes or something like this. And this is like an indicator as well. It's like these people have a lot of debts in the bank or something like this just to wear these things. Okay, the other stereotype of Mexicans is called fresas. This literally means strawberry. These are people who speak in a funny way. We call it like if they have a potato in their mouth. Normally they are bragging about things. And as I remember, somebody told me like it was because some people from California Valley Girls, for example, they have this accent and they come to Mexico. So some students in Mexico, long time ago, they tried to imitate this accent. So it's why it's like the Valley Girls of Mexico somehow, and it's for the boys as well. It's like a unique accent while speaking. And another well, we have another like a lot of stereotypes in Mexican culture. Of course, this is just a perception of the society. It could be inside or outside, but nothing in a bad way. And there is another stereotype. It's called cholos. Cholos are like people from the hood, like wearing from the hoods, like the neighborhoods.
Like a wedding,
like wearing baggy clothes. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, and there's another culture. It's called Chicanos, but this is people. If I remember well, it's that goes to the U.S. Mexicans go to the U.S. and they live there, and they come back to Mexico, and they have this cultural shock. So it's between American Mexican culture. They used to speak a lot of Spanglish. And yep, I think those are some of the stereotypes that we have in Mexico.
Can you tell me in general Mexico about your life there? This is dangerous. If there is any dangerous areas you have, or it's like a safe place to live and easy to survive, or it's difficult to survive and very dangerous place, and there is some shootouts and fights, or it's okay.
I think that danger is like everywhere. If you are in bad places at certain time, bad things happen. If you are in bad things, like crimes or these things, well, on this circle, well, your life will be like dangerous. There are some states that are well recognized by this, normally because it's close to the US borders, and I heard that it's very common on these fights and territory of drug dealers and cartels and these things. It's kind of like a reality. There are some books about it. I don't remember the name actually, but it's something that it comes from Colombia, Mexico, and everything goes to the US. So it's something that happened. We as Mexicans sometimes we perceive it in a different way, and we have like an extra instinct to feel like danger or something. Like when we are walking on the street, we are all like taking a look like few meters on the way just to feel secure. As well, I think there are beautiful places all around Mexico, and yeah, well, in some reality, some places this have been taken on bands and gangs and these things. I think a lot of Mexicans we believe like there's a lot of corruption in our country, so this is why it kind of like it's perceived like insecure. But if you go to the touristic places, if you go to really locals, people are really friendly, open-hearted, and they can help you with anything. What I love about Mexico, even if I'm Mexican and I go to another state, it's another world. And if I ask for directions or if I ask for some information, people are really friendly. So this is the real Mexico that it's happening, and wherever you go, you will find good people as well.
I get it. And now let's talk about common activity in Mexico. I know that in Mexico it's like a lot of surf camps and surf spots where you can do surfing. There is a really huge waves in there. Can you explain me the common activity? Let's say for like a common active person, like young generation person in Mexico. What you do? What sport you like? What activity you do? Do you do surfing or something else, or dancing maybe?
That's interesting. Yeah, well, I think like as Mexicans, when we are growing up in since school, we have sports like until university. Yeah, high school is the last level where we have sports. So it was like sometimes you have volleyball, sometimes you have basketball, sometimes football or handball, and different sports like Olympic sports, for example, like running and jumping. About the surfing, yeah, I think it's from the people who are mostly in the side of the ocean. In Mexico, it's very famous. Oaxaca, for example, it's very famous for surfing, and Baja California as well. People try a lot of surfing in Baja California. Those are the best spots to go and do the surfing.
And nature in Mexico is really beautiful and tropical. And I heard that it's regularly and normal for Mexico having the earthquakes and hurricanes. So can you share this experience with me? Because I am, as a Russian person, I couldn't understand how it is like having earthquakes and hurricanes. It's crazy for me. It's so scary. Can you explain how you act in this situation and some story around this?
Yes, of course. Well, Mexico is a biodiverse country, so we have a lot of environments. We have mountains, deserts, forests, the sea, the beaches as well. So there's a certain region in Mexico. It's in the center. We have some surface of the earth that they move and sometimes they crash. Normally it's in Mexico City, Puebla, Oaxaca, Chiapas, Guerrero. I think those are the most common. And yes, we have some earthquakes. What happened in an earthquake? How do you feel? It's the feeling. Well, we have two types of earthquakes. One is ondulatorio, like a pendulum on the side, and one is trepidatorio. It's up and down. So the first one, that is like waves, it's kind of like soft. Just feel and look that everything moves. Sometimes you don't perceive it. And the other one that it's up and down, it's the most dangerous because that can make buildings smash or crack and they can fail. Or some, in Mexico, we have a lot of Baroque and pre-Hispanic architecture. So it's with a lot of details on the outside of the houses and this can break down. So one experience that I had is that I was working with two people from France, and it was in the city of Puebla, and we had one earthquake. So for me, we have at least like one little earthquake a year. It's very common, but this one was unique. It was more intense and last longer. So I was with this couple of people from France, and we were walking in the city, and then it started to earthquake. And for me, it was like, oh, okay, it's an earthquake. We have to be chill, and we are outside on the street, so it's safe. But then after a certain time, it was like stronger, so up and down. The sensation is like if you are jumping in a trampoline with other people, and you lay down, and you try to get up, and the others are jumping. It's like you cannot move. Like you don't know what's going on because you cannot move.
It's so strong.
It was strong. I think it was around 6 Richter degrees, which is the scale of the earthquakes, and this is like really intense. And when it was everything like scary, we noticed that all the people around there the cars stopped driving. People went into the middle of the street just to be safe. And we moved inside in the middle of the street. So we gathered there and we wait a little bit. And then when the earthquake stopped, it was like silence. And then the things start to crack and fell down.
Oh my God.
Like, for example, if you can imagine a balcony, some of the lower part of the balcony cracked and fell down.
Yeah.
So, and it was the first experience for these people from France for an earthquake. And I was like, oh, wow, this is like unique. It's not like this all the time, but this is really intense. And this was the biggest earthquake since the last years. So it damaged Mexico City, Puebla, Chiapas, a lot of architecture in old architectural churches or humble houses as well. They fell down and we need to recover that. It took about 1 year to recover everything up.
Sad and scary.
It is intense. It is, yeah. And as well, because we have a lot of environments, we have a volcano in Mexico as well. It is called Popocatepetl. It means Smoky Mountain. It is active, yes. And
so the name
we
is
have
Smoky Mountain, right?
Popocatepetl.
Popocatepetl.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. So this mountain, it's active. Well, the volcano, sorry, the volcano is active. Normally we have 1 day on the year that the city is covered in ashes. Some people in other countries, they have snow, but we have ashes. So the city is full in gray dust. You need to wear a mask and we need to broom it because if you drop water, people say that you will block the draining system.
Yeah.
So it is, sometimes you feel it on your nose and throat, feels like itchy.
Yeah.
And your eyes are then a bit like irritated by this.
And how regular it is?
Normally once a year, something like that. The last couple years, I remember it was like a little bit, but when I was maybe on high school, I remember the city was super gray in volcano ashes.
And talking about celebrations, and some very famous and important festivals in Mexico. Can you name few of them shortly? And also I heard about that is interesting about Day of Death. It's like it looks like on the pictures, it looks like a Halloween. Like people wear this like makeup and this clothes like a dead people. Can you explain? This is traditional, like this is religion, or it's just like a Halloween?
Yes, well, it used to be, it started as a tradition because we celebrate to the underworld and the other world in the pre-Hispanic cultures. So we have a celebration to the dead, and we have the believings that some people come to visit you. We decorate with ofrendas. These are little altars. Normally they have different levels. And in each level, you have certain food, drinks of the favorite of the person who have passed away. We have, it's very colorful as well. We have the orange, purple. It's the most iconic elements on these things. And well, the Halloween festivity on the celebration, it's also a type of like a mix of the Day of the Dead in Mexico and the Halloween thing. And the movie of James Bond, 007, it was one in Mexico City, and they record a parade in Mexico City. So it was a parade with Catrinas. Catrinas is a type of art that it's made from Jose Guadalupe Posada. He's a Mexican artist, and he tried to describe that beyond, it doesn't matter if you are well dressed, if you are rich or poor, we are all skull and bones. So he tried to share like equality. And in this parade, they have huge Catrinas made of paper mache, and this was the first like parade that it was from the Day of the Dead. After the movie, a lot of people like it, and they try to repeat the scenario, and every time it's getting big and big. So I think it's a mixed nowadays with the Katrina. A lot of people use it on festivals, like you know, painting like cool. But as well, the typical tradition is that you have to go as local to the graveyard, and you do like a praying, and you stay there with your relative who passed away, because we have the belief that the people who pass away come back on this day, and it's celebrated on 1st of November. Also, it depends on the day. It's first, second, and since 31. It's for dedicated for children who died, people who were sick who died, people who were in accidents, and elder people, and animals as well. So if you have a chance to explore Mexico and you come on the Day of the Dead, the most interesting places are in Michoacán and Oaxaca. Just go to local communities and they go to the real celebration. For us, the Dead is not like a sad thing. It's like a remembering of the good things. Some people even play mariachi, you know, happy, well, traditional Mexican music considered to be happy in the graveyards. So the scenario, it's really interesting.
So what is the daily food for Mexicans, and what is the most like delicious traditional food that everybody should to try?
It depends on different type of Mexicans that we are. For the students, well, normally it's like fast food or food that we have it fast. For example, we have a typical store. It's called Oxxo. It's everywhere, and a lot of people go there. For the families, the typical breakfast, I think it's chilaquiles. Chilaquiles are tortillas with sauce, cheese and cream, and onion and cilantro, and tomato. It's made with tomato. As well, well, it depends. It's some part of my family, they have like meat, rice, and vegetables on the early morning, and they repeat it on the meal. and others have just like sweet things, just like toasted bread and cereals and oatmeal. I know other people that are more into like modern diets, so some do fastings and they do just like more vegetarian options or vegan options as well, which is very easy in Mexico. The very traditional dish that I like the most, it's called mole poblano. It's a super traditional dish. It's mole from smash, from mulir. It's smash ingredients, everything. It's like 4 or 5 types of chile. There is one version that is my favorite. It has almonds and peanuts, vanilla cookies, and chocolate. It's called mole poblano, and it's really tasty. That is, in Mexico, it's one of the best countries for gastronomy. So there are a lot in dishes.
And talking about Mexican people in general, how do you recognize a person from your country? For example, while you traveling abroad, you just have this kind of, you see them. Can you tell like this is Mexican for sure? How do you recognize them?
But Mexico, I think it became like a multicultural country at some point. We can recognize a Mexican by the humor, how friendly the people is, the accent as well. And yeah, I think it doesn't matter the color of the hair or the eyes or something, because there are like a lot of personality characteristics as well. And I think mostly Mexicans are very friendly, loud as well, and happy, I think. Yeah.
So thinking of some character from the movie or TV serial or from the history or nowadays life, can you name person or character who represents Mexican the most?
Okay. There have been a couple of characters, as I remember. One is very famous. It's famous in Latin America, most likely. It's a TV show. It's called El Chavo del Ocho. El Chavo, and he's a character. He's like a child, and he kind of like represents the children of a whole generation. And a Mexican stereotype, you know, the mariachi guy, the macho guy, the strong guy, but with a lot of feelings and sensibility, and who wants to pick up girls all the time. I think it's Pedro Infante. Pedro Infante, it's very traditional of the uh, classical times of movies in Mexico. As comedy from American movies, for example, Nacho Libre, I think that represents a funny way of Mexican situations with the religious kind of like problematic and situations.
And talking about relationship in your country, Mexico is a family-oriented country. Do you very close to your relatives, like you meet all together, or are you more individual?
I think it's very friendly, family oriented. I mean, I think we are family oriented, and there are some people who still live with their parents until a long time, or you have to visit your family every Sunday. And we have like Christmas and New Year's with family, and as well we have another party with friends. So we have like, we say like family, it's like on your blood, and family is from your friends, the ones you create somehow. So sometimes we have, that's why we have a lot of parties as well. Oh yeah, and one of a cultural thing about family is that the biggest offense in Mexico, it's if you offend your mother. So I think we are really attached to mother, and we are respecting mothers and grandmas somehow.
So can you describe a Mexican woman and Mexican man in a few words? Like in general, of course, it's like all about personality always, but it still have some common things. It depends of the country and environment you're growing up.
Okay, for the Mexican girl, I say sensitive, emotional, caring, and beautiful as well. For the man, I say protective, um, leadership, fun. Mhm.
And can you highlight benefits of dating person from your country and some negative sides of dating person from your country?
Yeah, yeah. In dating topics, well, of course, as you say, it's in general depends on characteristics and different personalities.
Of course.
But I think like Mexican, for both woman and man, the benefit is just to have the skill to dance, dance, being funny, um, caring as well, by experience from other friends and couples as well. I noticed that Mexican couples are really caring about each other. If someone fails in one thing, the other try to repair it and this thing. So it's really nice. Family oriented as well, and well, I think those are the most important, I guess. And the negative, I think, well, it's modern generation in general. Like you can just swap an app and find different persons. So it's a lack of responsibility in commitment, I think, and that is worldwide. It's not only in Mexico, I
Yeah.
think. And yeah, I think that could be it. And maybe in Mexico we have this stereotype still, which is the machism. People still have this like things like, well, it's in the little towns of Mexico where the woman can do this and the man can do that, and it's not allowed to the woman, or being overprotective on the woman. So some places they have the woman restricted. If they want to do something, the man is the man of the house and decides things. No, so this is still happen, unfortunately, but well, it's a bad thing in some places.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and the last question is, can you name few places in your country that you would definitely recommend to visit and see?
Yeah, of course. Um, there are two types of traveler, I think, the tourist and the travelers. So for the tourist, I recommend to go to Cancun, Mexico City, and Oaxaca, Chiapas, because those are the most mainstreams. But for the travelers, there are unique places in Mexico that not all the people go. One I recommend a lot is called Mahahual. It has a wonderful reef. It's on the Caribbean. The islands around Cancun as well, Olbosch, uh, the city of Yucatan in Merida, in Yucatan, the state of Yucatan. It's also really beautiful. The city of Puebla also is very cultural. It has a lot of also nature around. You can climb mountains, go to the rivers around. San Luis Potosí, it's full of nature as well. And Baja California Sur also is really cool. And yeah, there are a lot of places. Normally, there is one route for people. They arrive to Mexico City and go all the way south, or they arrive to Cancun and go all the way up. So whatever you explore, it's just an adventure. So try to talk to a local, and maybe you find more adventures on the different places. Yeah.
Thank you. So now it's a story time. Basically, you'll tell me any story from your life. It can be adventure story, scary story, romantic story, anything you want. Only one rule, story should be real.
Yes, of course. So it's a story that I would like to share with everyone and encourage everyone to do it, and it's travel with friends and or a partner. So I have the chance to get in a journey with some friends from Canada, and we traveled in a van. We went from Puebla to Chiapas to Bacalar, Belize, and Guatemala. And traveling with friends, it's really fun. Like you have a lot of adventures, different dates, different things. A funny thing that happens to me while traveling, well, it's kind of like interesting because I was camping on a road in Guatemala, and it was on the side of a hill. So it was at midnight. I hear a lot of noise, and I was dreaming. My tent was on the side of the hill, like here,
Yeah.
and the tent was here.
Uh-huh.
So I was dreaming, and suddenly I hear a lot of noises and saw a big light. The big light was in front of my face, and apparently it was a motorbike who was drunk driving at night. He went out of the road, and just a tree hold the motorbike from my tent, but it was like this distance from my tent, and I was like, whoa, that's really interesting. So if you ever camp somewhere, don't do it on hills with highways.
So, and while you travel in Kondawan, you sleep in there and you, like, it was your hotel and a drive.
Yeah.
You drive and you sleep in there and everything, right?
Yes, my friends made it in a way that it's like a bed inside. And at some point, we were other people. We were more than expected, so we camped outside. Some stay in the camping, some stay in the van. And yeah, we discovered a lot of natural places, waterfalls, rivers, lakes. We met wonderful people as well. Some people were very friendly. I remember in Guatemala, a family invited us to their home, and they prepared some beans with tortillas and horchata water. Horchata, it's a beverage made with, it's like rice milk somehow with cinnamon. And it was the best delicious food snack that we ever had. It was really, really warm because the family, we noticed that they didn't have a lot to share, but they share it with open heart. So we spent with them, with kids, sharing activities and walking around the city with one friend. So it's really nice.
Yeah, so very nice story that you told me, because I think this memory will keep with you forever, like for all your life, like adventure and everything. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's something that all the people should do in their life. Like if you can travel with friends or with partner or family, it's also a good experience. And you connect more with the people. And when you travel, when I met people, I think it's almost like breaking your heart in little pieces of yourself. And these people teach you and made you who you are somehow as well. It's like growing in a different way.
Very mature.
Kind of.
So now it's time to spinning the wheel. So basically I will spin the wheel and random amount of USDC will be appear on this screen, and I will send it to your cryptocurrency wallet. Okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
3.
$25.
Hey, woo! Thank you.